Good evening. I hope everyone had a wonderful 4th of July celebration, safe and sound. I'm excited about tonight's message. But before we get into the message for tonight, I have notes to help me with my message tonight. But listen, I thank God for all of you. Some of you tuning in tonight, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you may be. I want to extend a special invitation. THOR, the House of Reconciliation Church International, here in the city of Los Angeles, where I pastor. It is the church you've been looking for. You may not have a church home. Well, I got good news for you. THOR is the church you've been looking for. This is a place where you can once again reconnect with God, your creator and your source of hope, who is your source of hope, strength, and courage, and find family and fellowship. Some of you, it may be your first time connecting with the church. Some of you may have done it before, but you'll be connecting with a body of like-minded believers. In doing so, in connecting with THOR, you will be connecting with a strong, loving, and caring leadership team with a vision to reach beyond the walls and into the community to advocate for the disadvantaged, marginalized, demonized, and to demonstrate the message of hope, and endless possibilities through the Life Purpose Project. Here at THOR, you will find that within the Life Purpose Project, you can actively utilize your God-given gifts and talents for a more meaningful life. Not to mention that this is a place where you can grow spiritually, be loved, nurtured, and equipped to share with others your newfound church family and enjoy a stronger connection with God. So I invite you, if you're anywhere in the city of Los Angeles or surrounding communities and you are looking for a church home, THOR is the place. It is the church you've been looking for. All right. God bless you. Let's pray and we'll get into the message. Hello to everyone who has joined us through our conference call. We thank God for you. Thank you for signing in, joining in with us tonight. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be powerful. All right. God bless you. Thank God for you, Sandra. How are you? Good evening. And Lynn, how are you, Lynn? God bless you. Thank God for you. Mika. Look, good evening. Let's connect. Call me tonight after we shut down. Call me tonight so we can get together. I've been missing you. We need to get together. All right, let's pray. Father, we thank you in the name that is above every name for this awesome opportunity to go live across this country and around the world. Thank you for the opportunity to share what you've placed in my heart for your people, for my brothers and my sisters. I thank you for this awesome, humbling opportunity. Now, God, I pray and thank you that you'll bless the word, that it shall go forth with simplicity and with power. We thank you for it and decree that it is so right now. And so it is. Lakita, God bless you. Good to see you. Rhonda, Cheryl. Thank God for Marcia, who is on the road but is tuned in. We thank God for you. Well, I want to go ahead and get started. There's a lot to cover. You all pray for me because I want to pace myself. I get excited. It's going to get hot in here, but it's okay. It's okay. It's worth it. Tonight, the message that God laid on my heart last week, I was doing research in a totally different vein, and this word jumped off my page, and it made me ponder some things, and I want to share those things with you tonight. Let me make sure my volume is up so those who are on the conference call can hear. If you need to communicate with me, those of you who are on the conference call, please chat. Do a chat. Linda V. Carr, God bless you. Thank God for you. Because I'm on my cell phone here and I won't be able to do that. So if you want to communicate with me and you're on the conference call, please simply send me a chat or inbox me, whatever that is. But he shared this idea with me. You know what? Somebody, Rhonda, how are you? I am going to call you. You called me twice and I have not returned your call. Will you please forgive me? I will call you probably tomorrow, because by the time we're finished tonight, it's going to be extremely late there in New York. So God bless you. Love you, miss you. But I need a church fan. I need a church fan. I need it so that while I'm here, I turn the air off so that it wouldn't make noise, you know, that background noise. So if someone has a church fan that you've borrowed down through the years, can you please make sure Bishop Gates has a church fan so that in moments like this, when it gets warm, I can fan. You know, I thought about that. Okay, let's get started. So, that's funny. So, this word jumped off the page. It slapped me upside my head and it made me think about you. Made me think about you. So, tonight's topic is flawless, the ultimate you. Have you ever considered that you are flawless? Something to think about. Now, I'm going to try to lay this out, unpack it. So just bear with me, pray with me, bear with me. But more importantly, open up your heart, open up your mind so you can hear what the Spirit of God is saying to you through me. I believe that this is a message that God wants to get to you through me. Is that all right? Psalms 139. Oh my God, 139 and 1. I could really stop at the first verse. But it says, "O Lord, thou hast searched me and know me." But I'm going to keep reading. "Thou knowest my downsetting and my uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. Thou encampest my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways." Somebody say, all my ways. God is acquainted with all of your ways. There's nothing you can do that God is not already acquainted with. "For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest all together. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and lie thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain unto it. Where shall I go from your spirit, or whither shall I flee from your presence? If I ascend into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, thou art there." Now you got to stick with me. I'm laying down a foundation. I'm going somewhere, so stick with me. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost part of the sea, even there thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall uphold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. The darkness and the light are both to thee. Now you stick with me, stick with me. Flawless. Now when you think about flawless, now, excuse me if I'm all over the place, but you'll get what I'm saying. To be flawless, I need you to hear this. It says, without blemishes or imperfection, perfect. Flawless. It's like a diamond. A diamond clarity is a quality of diamond related to the existence and visual appearance of internal characteristics of a diamond called inclusions and surface defects called blemishes. But a flawless diamond has no blemishes. It is flawless. Everything is perfect. Everything is right. Now stick with me. Now, Psalms 31:9, it says, O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. There is nothing about you that God does not already know. There's nothing about your thoughts that God does not already know about. For we were with God in the beginning. Now let's keep going. Now, have you considered, I want you to think about this. Have you considered that you might be flawless? Most people are most concerned or more concerned about what others have to say about them. But here's the interesting thing. What most people say about you or even themselves is negative. In other words, what's wrong with a thing or what's right with a thing? What's bad instead of what's good? We focus on the negative. We focus on what appears to be the shortcomings of an individual or a situation. Yes, but is it really imperfection? Is it really bad? Is negative really negative, or is it all relative to what's positive or what's right or what's wrong? Stick with me. So let's look at something. Let's look at it. Let's look at currency. It is our global monetary system. Money is money. Now you got to stick with me. Money is money. Money is money. What differentiate a $1 bill from a $100 bill? Now I'm going somewhere. You got to stick with me. What differentiate a $1 bill from a $100 bill? Well, there are certain markings on a $100 bill that are not on a $1 bill. There is a certain picture of a certain president that's on a $1 bill, different from the president that's on the $100 bill. But it is still money, and it can still be used as a trading or a bargaining chip. It has the ability to trade. You can still use it. It doesn't matter that it's a $100 bill. It doesn't matter if it's a $1 bill. Money is money, right? A currency in the most specific use of the word refers to money in any form when in actual use or currency or circulation as a medium of exchange. In other words, the purpose for money is to exchange. It's a bargaining tip. But money is money. I'm getting somewhere. Stick with me. It doesn't matter what color it is. It doesn't matter. Money is money and it will spend. Amen. And it's interesting when it comes down to business, it doesn't matter really the color of your skin or what side of the track you came from. If you have the kind of money that is needed to make the deal, to make the exchange, money works. There are various kinds of currency. There's the British pound, the US dollar, the European euro, for example. There's the pound, the peso, the dinar, the mark, the yen. There are over 180 different currencies in the world. But it doesn't matter. Money spends. Money is a medium of exchange. It is the medium of exchange. Now, the face value will determine the rate of exchange. But again, I want you to focus on the fact money is money, honey. It doesn't matter. It will and can be used to bargain with or to exchange. The fact that there are a multiplicity of things is represented even in nature. Can you imagine being in a world where everything is the same? Can you imagine being, you have children and they're all the same? Can you imagine trees that are all the same? Can you imagine birds that they're all the same? It's just one kind of bird. It doesn't matter what it is, but one. Can you imagine everything being black and white? Can you imagine a rose, one color, red? That's it. No variation, nothing different, just the same. And there's some other things, and you need to read between the lines, that if it's the same all the time, it gets boring. Anyway, it's seen in nature. There are no two identical snowflakes. Snowflake is either a single crystal or an aggregation of ice crystals which falls through the Earth's atmosphere. They begin as snow crystals which developed when microscopic supercooled cloud droplets freeze. Snowflakes, even a snowflake has a variety of sizes and shapes. I'm going somewhere. Somebody say flawless. The ultimate you. Yes, let's look at nature, because nature, if you look at nature, nature is a reflection of the vast mind of God. It is a reflection of the glory of God. I just said a whole lot right there. The trees and everything. It's a reflection of the goodness and the glory and the wealth of God. Now listen at this. In 2005, it was estimated that there is over 400 trillion trees on the globe. Yes. A tree consists of an elongated stem, a trunk supporting branches and leaves in most species. And it has various usage. And they're defined by various things. It's either has a narrow trunk or a large trunk. It's either woody. It is used for lumber or for other things. You can make a lot of things out of trees. Money. Yes. Money does grow on trees, Terry. God bless you. So there are over 400 trillion trees on the globe. In 2005, it was estimated that there's over. But my point is, a tree is a tree. It doesn't matter that there are over 400 trillion trees. There are more trees on planet Earth than people. But they all serve the same purpose for the most part. They provide shade. They release oxygen. They convert carbon monoxide into oxygen so that we can breathe. So Yes. There are various characteristics of trees. You have the fir tree, and it can be distinguished from other members of the pine family by their needle-like leaves. Now, I'm going somewhere. Stick with me. Look at your neighbor, look at yourself, and tell yourself, flawless, the ultimate me. Yes, needle-like leaves attached by the twigs of the base that looks like small suction cups. And then you have the acacia waffle tree or the thorn trees. And there are approximately 1,380 known specimens of acacia trees worldwide. Now, these trees tend to be thorny and pod bearing. And then you have the Persian silk tree, the oak tree, the pine tree, the redwood tree, all trees, but each one has distinguishable characteristics or differences. Yes, I'm going somewhere. Watch this. And then you have the birds. Let's look at nature, because God is trying to tell us something in nature. You're going to love this. Then you have the birds. There are approximately 10,000 bird species in the earth. Now, I had something up here that didn't appear on my notes. And I believe when I was jotting this down, I heard the song by Keith Sweat, I believe, or somebody. Oh my God. But I believe I can fly. Is that Keith Sweat? No. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. I believe I can fly. Terry, I believe I can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. But if you are a bird, most birds can fly. Now, there are approximately 10,000 species in the world. And this number varies. It varies depending on the classification system. But you have the northern cardinal. It's a red, bright red overall. The mask is black. The throat and the mask are black. The crest is red with a large, thick red beak, similar to a different kind of cardinal that has a large, thick red bill with a long tail. But it's a bird. Yes, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. So it doesn't matter that you are a sparrow or an eagle, a pigeon or some other kind of bird. Most birds fly. So it doesn't matter that you have a long beak or a short beak. It doesn't matter that you have a long wingspan or not. If you are a bird, I'm preaching real good right now, then you can fly for the most part. Yes, then you have the red-tailed hawk. It's the most common in North America. It soars above open fields, slowly turning circles on their broad, rounded wings. Yes, to identify or to differentiate between different kind of hawks, you have to look at its size and its shape, but it is still a hawk. It may have a different wingspan. One wingspan may be pointed. The tail may be shorter. Yes, it may not have to flap as often when it flies. Yes, but it's still a hawk. It may have, thank you, R. Kelly, it may have different distinguishing marks, but a bird is a bird. And if a bird can fly, it does not matter that it is a hawk, an eagle, a sparrow, a pigeon, a bird, a cardinal, a red tail, a blue jay, a blue robin. A bird will fly. Somebody ought to say amen. Now listen, you may have two identical twins, but the mere fact that they are twins suggests that the two of them may have similarities, but they also have clearly identifiable differences. Yeah, so listen, it is our differences that makes us unique. And I'm going to get into it some more. It is our differences which keeps life evolving. You, my brother and my sister, you, Y-O-U, your own uniqueness, your own uniqueness. It is important, and I'm going to get into it. It's important when God made you. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but when God made you, he had a purpose for your being. Now watch this. It is important that we're not all the same. And I'm going to tell you why. Now this may seem like a insensitive example or analogy, but there's a point I'm trying to make. Distinguishing marks, yes, they're valuable tools in identifying a person. Now, you can say that let's say that there was a crime committed. Let's say that there was a crime committed and there's a suspect on the loose. In the world filled with homeland security concerns, identity fraud, and natural disasters, the need to establish the identification of an individual based on something other than a driver's license, demographics, or personal data is vital. In other words, there has to be something else that we can use to identify a suspect. Are you with me? For instance, can you imagine there's a big incident and the suspect is on the loose, but they're eyewitnesses. Stay with me. They're eyewitnesses. And the detective interviews the eyewitness. Why? Because they need to identify the suspect or this person of interest. So what does the interviewer do? First of all, can you tell me the age of the person? Because now what we're doing, we're trying to narrow the pool down of the pool of possibilities down to a specific somebody. And so if we were all alike, then there will be no way to identify or to distinguish you from someone else. I hope you're with me tonight. What age? Can you tell me the age of this individual or this person of interest? Can you tell me their ethnicity? What color is their skin? Yeah, because there are various shades of beautiful. There are various shades of a caramel, creamy person. You understand what I'm saying? What is the person's gender? Is it a male or a female? Because, again, we're trying to narrow it down to a specific person, not a multiplicity of individuals. I hope you're with me tonight. Color of the hair. Can you tell me what color hair? Is it black? Is it brown? Does it have streaks? What are the distinguishing characteristics of the hair color? What's the texture of the hair? I hope you hear me tonight. What's the texture? Is it wavy and woolly, or is it straight and stringy? No pun intended. But what is the differentiation? What is the identifiable mark or characteristics of this person's hair? What about the eyes? Can you describe the eyes? Listen, we all have eyes. Amen. We all have eyes, but they're not all shaped the same way. We all have noses, but they're not shaped the same way. Why? Because I'm unique. I'm different. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, but I hope you hear what I'm saying. Now, yes, can you remember something about this individual of interest, this person's ear? Can you tell me how it was shaped? Let me back up and talk about the eyes a little bit. Yes, what color are the eyes? Yes, are they sky blue or midnight blue? Are they brown? Yes. Are they green? Are they black as the night? What color are the eyes, and what shapes What shape? Is it oval? Is it oblong? Is it round? Not only that, watch this, and this is going to bless somebody. Is one eye higher than the other? You don't hear me. Yes, it is one eye higher than the other. Is one eyebrow shorter or longer, or is it a unibrow? You don't hear me. Yes, the texture of the hair, the skin color. What about the lips? Are they small and thin, or are they full and voluptuous? Yes, because all of these characteristics make us who we are. Yes, flawless. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself. Yes. What? Did you hear the person's voice? Yes, you may not like your raspy voice. I know I didn't for a long time. I used to get offended. When I make a phone call and the person on the other phone says, yes, Mr. Gates, how can I help you? What? Mr. Gates? What? But then I remember years ago, a certain gentleman heard my voice over the phone, and I told him of my experience, and he said, well, honey, let me tell you, I love the way your voice sounds. I didn't want to hear my voice on the recording because I didn't like my voice, but my voice is my voice. And people will try to get you to shut your voice, shut your mouth, because they don't want to hear your voice. But God gave you your voice. It is an identifiable characteristic. Yes. Is it high pitch? Is it low pitch? Is it songstress? Is it quirky? Is it kind? Is it deep? Is it high pitch? Yes. Do you talk with a lisp or a slur? Yes, all of those things that we shun or laugh about or talk about people about are things that make you ultimately you. It makes you your own uniqueness. I can't hear nobody. Yes, Terry. Yes, your texture. How do you walk? Yes, somebody may walk with a limp. But that limp distinguishes you from somebody else. Yes, you may drag your feet, you may drag your hips. However you walk, it is part of your own uniqueness. Yes. Our fingerprints, they're not alike. It is another identifiable mark. Why? Because when God made you, I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, he made you and broke the mold. Because he only need one of you. Yes, I'm trying not to get ahead of myself. But look, Psalms 39 and 9, 139 and 12, it says, yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike. Listen at verse 13. It says, for thou hast possessed my reign. Now David is describing how man became flesh, if you will. How when God said, let us make man, he's describing how this happened. Now watch it. It says, thou hast possessed my reign. Who? God. Georgia, God possessed your reins. And your reins, if you look it up, it means your kidneys and your internal or your essential oils. I'm preaching real good. Yes, your mind as the interior self. Kidneys. Yes, your internal or your essential organs. Where were they? With God. Thou hast covered me in my womb. Now you better ride with me. Yes, let me keep going. 14, I will bless thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully. Yes, I know you may have heard this, but I'm going to say it again because you need to understand that your own uniqueness is what God wanted you to be. You have to understand that you are flawless. Let's keep going. I will praise thee, for I am. Somebody ought to say, I am tonight. I hear you. I hear you. For I am fearfully and wonderfully. Now let me park there for just a few minutes. Fearfully. I can imagine that as the universe, stick with me, was carving you out, making you, listen. The universe had a description of who you are supposed to be. I can't hear nobody. And I can imagine like a potter with clay who has a very distinguished, a very clear, vivid picture of what this lump of clay is to be made into, is careful and fearful that he does not make a mistake, that she does not make a mistake in making you, watch this, according to the specification of the Creator. Because remember, God has searched you out. He knows your thoughts. He knows everything about you. He possessed your brain. He possessed your reins, your kidneys and your essential parts. They were with him, if you don't mind. And so I can imagine the responsibility of making you to order, if you don't mind. Yes, I can imagine that the universe was fearful, not in a negative way, but careful, if you will, to make you according to God's mind about you, according to God's thoughts about you. Don't want to mess up. I've got to do it right, and I've got to do it right the first time. So I will praise thee, for I am wonderfully or fearfully and wonderfully made. Somebody ought to say marvelous. Marvelous are thy works. Yes, baby, when you see yourself in the mirror, you ought to say it's marvelous. Yeah, I don't care that one eye is bigger than the other. I don't care that your nose is big or large and narrow. I don't care if it takes up half of your face, honey. Yes, it's marvelous. Yes, you ought to get excited about you being marvelous. I don't care if one arm is longer than the other. Yes, I don't care if one foot is a size 10 and the other is 11 and a half, honey. You were wonderfully and fearfully made by the Creator. You ought to praise him right now. And my soul knoweth right well. I'm going to read that again. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works. You are the handiwork of God. Yes, you are. Yes. See, we think perfection is perfection, but we don't even recognize that what we appear or what we consider a flaw is actually perfect. You're made according to the design of God. Yes. Listen, a dog. Have you ever walked behind a dog and noticed that its tail sits either to the right or to the left? Well, it is according to God's design. It has to be off center for the dog to be healthy. It can't walk straight behind itself. Yes, but it has to be off center just a little bit. Now I'm going to say something that is interesting. Now listen. I went to the firing range a couple of years ago, and I had this Coke 45 that I shot, and it jolted me. Yes, but then I had a 9mm. I was at the shooting range, and watch this. You have to zero the gun out. And so what I did was I shot straight as I could, but I noticed that the bullet curved. That surprised me. So what I had to do was to move the gun to the right, off center. Watch this. I moved it off center. Are you hearing me? I moved the gun off center, pulled the trigger, and the bullet hit a bullseye off center. I hope you hear me. Yes. Things that we think should be straight are straight when they're crooked. Now you get that about midnight. Let me keep reading. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous. are thy works. Look at your neighbor. When I say look at your neighbor, I'm talking about looking at yourself. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, I am marvelous. Yes. And that my soul knoweth right well. See, somewhere on the inside of you, you know, on a certain level, you know that you are perfect. You know that you are just what God planned you to be. I'm going to leave that alone, but you think about that. Verse 15, it says, my substance. This is going to bless you. My substance, or in the Greek, my astum, or my bones, my power, hence my body, my might, my strength, my substance were not hid from thee. When I was made in secret, in other words, even your bones, not only your internal or your essential organs, but your bones, your substance, the thing that gives you power, was not hid from God. Yes, when you were made in the secret, when you were made in the secret place, and wrought and curiously wrought in the lower parts of the earth. Now the secret place and the lower parts of the earth is the womb. Everything that was formed in the womb. Yes, God imagined it. Watch this, and the womb produced it. Mother Earth, say it, say it, say it, say it. Yes. Wrought as if knitting it, as if crocheting it. You were wonderfully and fearfully, watch this, put together. Yes, wonderfully and fearfully put together. It says in the 16th verse, thine eyes did see my substance. Watch this, you're gonna love this. Thine eyes did see my substance. Listen, everything that you consist of, God's eyes saw it. So look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, I am not an accident. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, I hear you. I am flawless. Yes, come on, somebody. He says, thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect. Now I need to help you right there. I need to hear you right there, because if we're talking about being flawless, then that means perfect. It means, let me get my notes because I want to be correct. It means to be without blemish or imperfections. Yes, Lord. It says, thine eyes did see my substance. Somebody said, yet. That's right, minister. You are not an accident. Yet being unperfected or unperfect. Glolim, which means a wrapping or a wrapped, listen at this, or unformed mass. Woo! In other words, God saw you before you were you. God saw you when you were formless substance. Like this water, it has no form. It is formless substance. The only thing that's giving it form is this bottle. But if I were to, and I wish I had a cup, if I had this bottle, and if I was bold enough, I'd pour it on my head. But if I took this water out of this bottle, it would be formless. And the only thing it could do is seek to level itself. Yes. So the Bible is saying, it says, thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfected or unperfect. In other words, when you were an embryo, you had no form. You didn't have ears. You didn't have eyes yet. You were just a gazillion cells. There was no form to you. It couldn't be determined whether if you were going to be a boy or a girl. There was nothing. You were formless. You were pliable to be made into anything, but God determined your end. So it says, thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfected. substance, yet being unperfected. You weren't perfected yet. Now watch me. I hope you see me. In other words, that form of formless substance, it hadn't been shaped into anything yet. Listen, watch this. I need to say this. Even in your embryonic state, you were perfect. You were perfect. The imperfection was that it hadn't been transformed into something else. I hope you hear me. But in that state, you were perfectly formless. And that's what formless substance is supposed to be. Formless substance. Let me keep going. Watch this. You got to hear this. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being imperfect. And in thy book, all my members were written. I could preach right now. Put me in the key of A flat. Yes, 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 yes. Now watch this. Watch this. Watch this. And in thy book, all my members were written. Which in continuance were fashioned. Yes, when as yet there was none of them. In other words, before the universe began to frame you, before formless substance became ultimately you, God had written up a very detailed description of who you were to be. Your personality, your characteristics. Yeah, your one eye bigger than the other. Your one foot, your left foot bigger than the other. He determined that you would talk with a lisp. Yes. That you would have a unibrow. Yes. That your skin color and your hair color, that your eyes would be shaped a certain way. So it says, thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect. And in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. In other words, before the universe took the schematic or the formula that made you, God already had a completely vivid image of who you are. Watch this. I'm going to help somebody right now. He knew who you would like. He knows what you would like. He knows that you don't like bananas, but you like cherries. He knows that you like vanilla ice cream and not chocolate. Yes. He knows that you like apples and not oranges. He knows you like Peter and not Jane. He knows you like Jane and not Peter. I'm preaching real good. He knows that you like the skin color, light skin, fair skin. And he knows some of you like dark as the night. But before God even made you, he knew you. I'm preaching real good. Yes, so everything that man calls a flaw, yeah, your big nose, your nappy hair, your skin color, where you were born, where you went to school, they are not flaws, but they are characteristics. They are markings that differentiate you, separate you from everybody else. I'm preaching real good. Now listen, an embryo is a new organism in the earliest state of development. So he knew you before the earliest state of your development. I'm preaching real good. But watch this. In Psalms 139:17, it says, how precious are all thy thoughts unto me. O God, how great is the sum total of them. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, I am the sum total. And let me say it to you first. You are the sum total of God's thoughts transmuted. You and your crooked teeth. Now you can always get those changed if you want to. But he didn't make any mistakes. Yes, your freckles on your face are not a mistake. Your distinguishable birthmark is not a mistake. One arm longer than the other is not a mistake. Your short fingernails are not a mistake. Yes, nothing about you is a mistake. For the Bible says that you were wonderfully and fearfully made. And while you were being made in your mother's womb, God, who is everywhere at the same time, God who stands, if you will, on the outside of eternity, 13.8 trillion light years away, was there, if you will, while you were being formed and crafted and wrought in your mother's womb. He was there making sure that you were being made according to his specification. He was there to make sure that everything about you that he imagined was who you would become. He was there to see to it. He overlooked every part of your being. He was there when your eyes began to form. He was there when your spinal cord started to take shape. He was there when your bones began to infuse within themselves. He was there when your hand was, and I forget the process, but when your hand was just one big ball of mass, and how the cells in between your fingers began to die off to formulate your hands and your fingers. He was there, if you will, when your hair color, that before it even grew out of your bald head, God knew that at the age of 2 and 3 months, that you would begin to grow hair, and he knew what color it would be, even though in your early developmental stage that this portion of your hair would eventually fall off. He knew, oh my God, everything. He knows, and he knew your blood type. He knew what your heart rate would be throughout your entire life. The Bible even says that he has counted every strand of hair on your head. There go 1 and 2 and 152,365 gazillion million hairs. Yes, he knew the day your front teeth would fall out of your head. He knows everything about you. And look, just like when he spoke light into existence and said, "It is good," when you were born, God said, "You are good and very good," with your crooked teeth and your upside down smile and your freckled face and your oblong face or your round face or your full cheeks, whatever it is, your high cheekbones or no cheekbones at all, whatever it is, you are flawless. You are perfect. You are just the way God made you. Yes, society will make you think that you're not good enough, that you have to look like somebody else. Let me tell you something. If God wanted you to look like everybody else, then he would have not needed the paper. He would not have needed the schematic. He would not have needed that. All he would do is mass produce everybody to look the same. But God is infinite in his wisdom. His imagination is broad and vast, and his ability to think of new things is beyond our comprehension. So why would God make another you if you already exist? Listen, the only reason why, and I'm just throwing this out, since there is only one God, and all God can do is recreate himself, you are simply a representation of a facet of God. You are in total a complete description of a part of who God is. I'm going to say that again. You are in total a complete and full description of a thought that God has about you. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, and I'm going to tell you, you are flawless, the ultimate you. So I want you to begin to embrace what's different about you, because when I come looking for you, I'm not looking for me. I'm looking for you just the way you are. Yes, yes, yes. You can giggle and laugh through your nose. If that's who I'm looking for, then that's who I'm looking for. You ought to get excited. You ought to get excited about the fact that you are the sum total of God's thoughts transmuted. You are not a mistake, but He made you on purpose. Listen, all the trees that are made, all the birds that fly in the air, not to mention the fish in the sea, not to mention every snowflake that falls is different. God made us different. There's not a rose, although it is a rose and a red rose. There's not a rose that is the same. You can take two identical twins and look at them and see differences. Yes, although genetically they're identical, there are characteristics that differentiate them. There are behaviors and personalities that are slightly different. God would not make another you if there is already another you here. Let's look at this. But Ephesians 5:27, it says, that He might present to Himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blame or without blemish. Listen, you are wonderfully made. You are perfect, flawless, your own uniqueness. Now think about it for a moment. What is unique about you? What's different about you? It's not for you to hate that part of you, but it's for you to embrace. Because if I was looking for you in a crowd of 1 million people, and you look the same, I could not identify you. I could not distinguish you from anyone else, but it's because of your differences. It's because of what you like. It is because of your personality. It is because of the shape of your nose, the shape of your face, your eyebrows, the color of your skin. It is because of those things, a tattoo, a scar, even a scar can be used to identify you. But it's what makes you unique. Listen, people who spend hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars spend that kind of money on art that's unique, things that are different, because everyone wants to own something, possess something that no one else has. And guess what? If somebody has you, which is you, then you have somebody or something that nobody else has. And that makes you priceless. That makes you valuable. People who spend hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars will only spend that kind of money on something that's different, on something that's priceless, on something that's rare. A flawless diamond is rare. It only happens every once in a while. You are rare. And watch this, you only happen once. We're all flawless. Your wrinkles, the twitch in your eye, it's what makes you you. And since there's only one of you, then you are valuable. You are priceless. Do not sell yourself short, because you're priceless. And watch this. People know your value more than you know your value. And that's why they'll buy you for cheap. Because you don't recognize your own value. But when you recognize your value, you will not sell out. Why? There's not enough money in the world that is fair exchange when it comes to you. And look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, and I will not be sold at a discounted rate. Why? Because, Sandra, you are priceless. You are rare. Lynn, you are priceless. You are rare. You're amazing. You are flawless. People don't want to tell you that about you because then we can buy you for cheap. We can put you to work and pay you cheap labor. And we do it because we don't know our own value. So we sell out. But you need to recognize your value and refuse to sell out. Let's pray. Father, I thank you for everyone listening tonight, this morning, this afternoon, from wherever they are. And I thank you that each listener will begin and each viewer will begin to realize, wait a minute, I'm one of a kind. I'm valuable. I'm priceless. And I want you to make up your mind that you will never, ever sell out again. That you will never, ever sell out again. That you will never, ever, Reverend Hughes, that you will never, ever sell out again. And there's not enough money, which is fair exchange. So, Father, I thank you that we leave here tonight knowing that we are flawless, that we'll make no excuses. Father, some of us, and I need you to hear me tonight, some of us, some of you, because you discounted yourself. Did you hear what I just said? You devalued yourself. And you believe the lie about who you are. You become bitter and angry and frustrated and negative. And every time you talk negativity because you don't realize your own value. And so now you take it out on others around you. I promise you, when you begin to realize who you are, you won't need validation. You'll validate yourself. You don't need anybody to solidify who you are. You'll solidify yourself. And you'll only surround yourself with people who recognize value. See, you can have an old piece of furniture in the street. And if you don't know value when you see it, you'll discard it. As a matter of fact, the person who put it in the street in the first place did not know its value. But if you have an art collector or a person who deals in antiquity, they can drive by and see, oh my God, look at that value piece of furniture. Look at that valuable piece of that valuable painting. Look at that valuable watch. And oh my God, they'll take it and they'll clean it off and they'll wipe it off and they'll polish it and put it where it needs to be put and honor it and respect it because that person recognized value. Well, when you don't recognize the value in yourself, you will not recognize the value in me. So if you devalue me, it's because you devalue yourself. But when you begin to value yourself and recognize your own value, then when you see me, then you recognize the value, whether I see it in myself or not. When greatness, when inferiority meet confidence, it's labeled arrogance. But when greatness recognize greatness, it gives birth to respect. And so some of you have been thrown out like trash. Some of you have been discarded and discounted and demarginalized and demonized by people who don't recognize value, by people who don't recognize that this flaw gives me a quality that you won't find anywhere else. I'm preaching real good. You don't understand that my lips, they're different, but they add value to who I am. Yeah. Jesus. Some of you have been discarded, but oh my God. Tonight I serve as the antiquity dealer. And I see you, and I see how precious you are. I see how amazing you are. I see how that scar suits you, and it gives you value. It distinguishes you from every other piece of artwork I have, if you will. And tonight I wash you with the word. Wash off the scum and the shame that you may have, that you may be wearing, and I pour water on you, and I rub you so that your brilliance and so that your glow shall shine, your brightness, the best part of you can begin to shine through. And I set you up on a showcase. Watch this, not for everyone to see, because everyone won't appreciate you. But there's a private room where I put my choice pieces. And I put you there for the viewing of only those who are worthy to lay their eyes on such a masterpiece as you. So tonight I decree and declare this morning, this afternoon, that you are flawless. And the one thing that makes you flawless is the same thing that makes you different from everybody else. Because when he made you, you were wonderfully and fearfully made. And you were made according to the imagination of God's own counsel and will. And so, Father, I thank you that tonight we look in the mirror at our own selves and recognize, oh my God, what brilliance, what splendor, what magnificence. Oh God, I thank you for it right now. In the name of Jesus. And everyone in agreement said, thank God, amen, and amen. Your own uniqueness is flawless. God bless you. Thank God for you. Sandra, God bless you. Thank God for you. Thank God for you. Thank God for you. Lynn, I love you. Thank God for you. I look to see you guys this Sunday. Minister Designate Smith, God bless you. Rhonda there in New York, God bless you. Pastor Cheryl in Indianapolis, God bless you. Listen, I want you to take this message, Lakita. I want you to own this message. I don't want you to take this message and listen. If you have to listen to this over and over until you get it in your head that you are perfectly and wonderfully and fearfully made by God, I want you to listen to this over and over and over again until you can recognize and realize that there's nothing about you that is wrong. Now listen, even a diamond has to be polished to bring out its brilliance. So yes, sometimes you may need to be polished, and we may need to rub on you, but all that is designed to do, what that is designed to do is to bring out your splendor, to bring out your glory, because sometimes particles outside of yourself will fall on you, if you will, and camouflage, hide, cover your glory. So God will use somebody like me and will take you and polish you, not changing you, but I'm moving off the grime and the grit and the particles if you will, that blocks the true essence of who you are. And so tonight, all I'm doing, I'm not remaking you. God did that. But what I am doing is taking off some of the dirt, some of the soot that life will dump on you, so that your brilliance, so that your glory, so that God's majesty will shine through you. And so God bless you. Thank God for you. Listen, again, if you're in the Los Angeles area, come see Bishop Gates. Come see me this Sunday at 3 o'clock. We'll be at the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center, 4305. That is Degden Boulevard in the city of Los Angeles. We're right there in the Lamert Park area, which is located in the Crenshaw District, 4305. Degden Boulevard in the city of Los Angeles. And listen, if you are looking for a church home, THOR is the church you've been looking for. God bless you. Thank God for you. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Go to our website. You'll find pertinent information about our ministry. We have a lot of exciting things coming up. I love you. God bless you. Thank God for you. Again, I will see you this Sunday at 3 o'clock for our live event. God bless you. Thank God for you. Mika, give me a call. God bless you. Love you. Thank God for you. God bless you, Sandra. Thank God for you. Amen, Lakita. God bless you. Thank God for you. Take this word and listen to it over and over, because you need to know how awesome you are. You need to know how beautiful you are. You need to know, and you're not going to get it one time. You're not going to get it just hearing it now. You'll get it. It'll feel good to you. It'll be good to you. It'll bless you. But then later on, it'll leave you if you don't listen to it over and over. Terry T, God bless you. I am so glad that you enjoyed THOR Connect with Bishop Gates. I'll be looking to see you next week at this same time. Keep me in your prayers. I'll be praying for you. God bless you. Thank God for you. Good night. Good morning, or good afternoon.